Most people think muscle loss is just a natural part of getting older. But what if I told you that the gradual weakening of your body, the shrinking of your strength, your energy, your stability, isn't just aging, it's a condition. And it has a name, sarcopenia. And more importantly, it's reversible. By the time we reach our 60s, we can lose up to 8% of our muscle mass per decade, and even more if we're sedentary. This isn't just about looking fit. Muscle is a metabolic organ. It controls how we burn energy, how we stabilize joints, how we bounce back after stress, and even how well we regulate blood sugar. Research from the Journal of Gerontology shows that lower muscle mass is directly linked to higher risks of falls, insulin resistance, cognitive decline, and even early mortality. But here's where it gets hopeful. While many people turn straight to protein powders or gym memberships to rebuild muscle, and yes, those can help, few realize that the right fruits can play a powerful, often overlooked role in reversing sarcopenia. This isn't about generic eat your fruits and veggies advice. This is about specific science-backed fruits that support muscle protein synthesis, reduce muscle inflammation, enhance mitochondrial function, and even boost testosterone and growth hormone naturally. Because what's happening in your muscles as you age isn't just mechanical, it's biochemical. And certain fruits, rich in natural compounds like anthocyanins, flavonoids, potassium, and muscle-building polyphenols, actually turn on the cellular machinery that rebuilds strength from the inside out. In this video, we're going to explore 5 of the most powerful fruits for muscle restoration and strength after 60. Each one is backed by science, explained in everyday language, and paired with a simple strategy you can use right now. Whether you're recovering from muscle loss, aiming to stay active into your 80s and beyond, or just want to feel stronger in your daily life, this is for you. Let's dive in. Think back to the last time you felt truly strong. Not just in your muscles, but in your energy. That solid, stable feeling that your body could carry you through whatever the day held. For many people past 60, that feeling begins to fade. Not because of age alone, but because the very power plants inside our muscles, our mitochondria, start to break down. Mitochondria are tiny energy factories inside your muscle cells. They create the fuel in the form of ATP that powers every contraction, every step, and every movement. As we age, mitochondrial function declines. This is a key driver of sarcopenia. Less energy in the muscle means less repair, slower recovery, and greater breakdown. Here's where blueberries come in, not as a snack, but as a cellular intervention. Blueberries contain powerful polyphenols, especially one called pterostilbene, which has been shown in animal and human studies to stimulate mitochondrial biogenesis, a process where new mitochondria are created inside your cells. A 2020 study published in the Journals of Gerontology found that older adults who consumed blueberry extract daily for 6 weeks showed improved mitochondrial function and muscle performance. What's happening at the cellular level is fascinating. Compounds in blueberries activate a pathway called AMPK-PGC1A, which tells your cells, we need more mitochondria, let's build them. This is the same pathway that gets activated by exercise and fasting. And blueberries seem to mimic that effect. But there's more. These polyphenols also reduce oxidative stress, which is one of the key reasons mitochondria get damaged in the first place. Think of blueberries as a kind of protective and regenerative shield for your muscle cells. Now, let's talk practical tools. How much should you eat? Most studies showing muscle benefits used about 1 to 2 cups of fresh or frozen blueberries per day, or around 20 to 30 grams of freeze-dried powder. If you're using powder, stir it into a morning smoothie with protein and greens for an optimal anabolic window effect. When should you consume them? Ideally within 30 to 60 minutes after light strength training or walking. That's when your muscle cells are primed for nutrient uptake and regeneration. Can frozen work? Yes. Frozen blueberries retain most of their polyphenol content. Just be cautious of store-bought versions with added sugar or syrup. You might be wondering, do you need to eat blueberries every single day? The answer depends on your goals. For general health and maintenance, a few times per week may be enough. But if you're actively trying to reverse muscle loss or recover from injury, a daily protocol for at least 4 to 6 weeks is where the research shows consistent benefits. There's also an added bonus. Blueberries enhance neuroplasticity. Studies from the University of Reading and Tufts University have shown improvements in cognitive flexibility and working memory in older adults. This means you're not just rebuilding your body, you're rewiring your brain. So the next time you reach for a handful of blueberries, think of it not as a sweet treat, but as a metabolic trigger, one that tells your body to repair, rebuild, and renew strength. You can't feel it happening, but one of the biggest threats to your muscle health after 60 is chronic low-grade inflammation. It's not the sharp kind you notice with a twisted ankle. It's the silent, simmering kind that damages your tissue over time. Scientists call it inflammaging, and it's now considered one of the major causes of sarcopenia. The good news? Tart cherries, specifically Montmorency cherries, may be one of nature's most effective tools for shutting that inflammation down. These cherries are rich in anthocyanins, deep red plant compounds that actively block inflammatory enzymes like COX-1 and COX-2, the same enzymes targeted by over-the-counter pain relievers. But unlike ibuprofen or naproxen, tart cherries don't just mask pain. They help resolve the inflammation at the root. In a 2019 meta-analysis published in Nutrients, researchers reviewed over a dozen studies and found that tart cherry supplementation significantly reduced markers of inflammation and muscle damage after exercise, particularly in older adults and recreational athletes. Another study published in the Scandinavian Journal of Medicine and Science in Sports found that drinking tart cherry juice for just 7 days prior to and after resistance exercise reduced post-exercise soreness and accelerated strength recovery in older adults. But what's happening in your body, really? Here's the biology. When your muscles are strained, whether from a workout, yard work, or even just prolonged walking, your body mounts an inflammatory response. That's normal. But in aging tissue, the inflammation lingers, creating a catabolic environment that breaks muscle down faster than it can rebuild. Tart cherries interrupt this cycle. Their anthocyanins help lower CRE creactive protein, CRP, and interleukin-6, IL-6, both key markers of systemic inflammation. And by doing so, they create a more anabolic muscle-building environment. Now, for the practical application, what's the ideal form? Tart cherry juice concentrate is the most studied. Mix 1 to 2 tablespoons into water morning and evening. Capsules containing 400 to 500 milligrams of tart cherry extract can also be effective, especially for those limiting sugar intake. Dried tart cherries are convenient, but watch for added sugars. Opt for unsweetened if possible. When should you take it? Studies show optimal recovery when tart cherry juice is consumed 1 to 2 hours before and immediately after physical activity, or before bed, when the body shifts into repair mode. How long before benefits? Noticeable improvements in recovery, soreness, and sleep quality have been seen in as little as 7 to 10 days, especially when taken consistently. And here's something that might surprise you. Tart cherries don't just help your muscles. They help your sleep too. Research from Louisiana State University found that older adults who drank tart cherry juice twice daily for 2 weeks increased their sleep duration by over 80 minutes per night. Better sleep means more growth hormone, better recovery, and a lower risk of overnight muscle catabolism. So if you're someone who wakes up sore, struggles with deep sleep, or feels your body takes too long to bounce back after even mild activity, tart cherries may be your new best friend. And if this insight is helping you, if you're starting to see how food can be your most powerful form of recovery, consider subscribing. This channel is dedicated to turning cutting-edge science into practical tools you can use to feel better, live stronger, and age with intention. When most people think about muscle, they think about protein. But protein is only one piece of the muscle building equation, especially after 60. What's often missing from the conversation is the hormonal and cellular environment that determines whether your body builds muscle or breaks it down. And here's where avocados, yes, this soft green fruit, can become a muscle building ally. Avocados are technically a fruit and one of the most nutrient-dense, hormone-supportive, and metabolically beneficial foods for aging adults. They contain a rare combination of monounsaturated fats, potassium, magnesium, boron, and fiber, all of which work together to support testosterone, reduce muscle-wasting inflammation, and enhance nutrient delivery to cells. All right, let's start with hormones. Testosterone, often associated with masculinity, is actually essential for both men and women when it comes to maintaining lean muscle, bone strength, and vitality. As we age, testosterone levels tend to decline, but certain nutrients can nudge the body back into balance. Avocados provide boron, a trace mineral that's been shown in multiple studies, including one published in Environmental Health Perspectives, to increase free testosterone levels and reduce estrogen dominance, especially in older men. In addition, the healthy fats in avocados help your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins like D and E, both of which are involved in muscle protein synthesis and neuromuscular coordination. That isn't the enemy, it's the delivery system. Without it, your body can't use the very nutrients you're consuming. But there's more. Avocados are also rich in potassium, even more than bananas. And potassium is crucial for muscle contraction, hydration, and recovery. Studies show that inadequate potassium levels lead to muscle cramps, weakness, and slower post-exercise repair. Combine that with magnesium, another mineral found in avocados, and you're building the foundation for a more anabolic, recovery-ready body. So how do you use this in real life? Here's a simple tool. Start your day with half an avocado paired with a high-quality protein source like eggs, Greek yogurt, or a plant-based protein synthesis, especially when eaten within 90 minutes of waking. Add a second serving in the evening, perhaps sliced on top of a salad with olive oil and leafy greens, to support hormonal repair overnight. Your body does its best rebuilding while you sleep, and avocados can help deliver the raw materials needed for that process. Concerned about calories? Don't be. Multiple long-term studies, including one published in the Journal of Nutrition, show that people who eat avocados regularly actually have lower visceral fat, better metabolic markers, and improved body composition. Likely because avocados increase satiety, stabilize blood sugar, and reduce cravings that lead to overeating. And here's a subtle but important insight. Avocados help you absorb more nutrients from the other muscle-supportive foods you eat. One study from Ohio State University found that adding avocado to a mixed salad increased absorption of key carotenoids by over 400%. That means every spinach leaf, every tomato slice, every piece of salmon or egg, all become more effective with a bit of avocado on the plate. So the next time you slice into one, remember, you're not just spreading it on toast. You're fueling the hormonal machinery your body depends on to stay strong, stable, and independent for decades to come. Muscles don't grow simply because you eat the right foods or lift weights. They grow and stay strong when your body can deliver oxygen and nutrients efficiently to the muscle fibers during and after activity. And as we age, one of the most overlooked factors in muscle decline is reduced blood flow. That's where pomegranates come in, not just as a fruit, but as a powerful vascular enhancer for aging muscle. Pomegranates are rich in nitrogen-taking compounds and polyphenols, especially elagitannins, which convert into urolithins in the gut. These compounds have a remarkable effect on the endothelium, the delicate lining of your blood vessels. They stimulate the production of nitric oxide, NO, a molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and widen. The result? Improved circulation, better oxygen delivery, and enhanced nutrient transport directly to your muscle tissue. This has been backed up by multiple studies. A 2016 study published in Applied Physiology, Nutrition, and Metabolism showed that pomegranate extract improved blood flow and exercise performance in older adults, especially during resistance training. The subjects reported less fatigue and faster recovery. And in a follow-up study from the University of North Carolina, researchers found that a single dose of pomegranate extract increased arterial dilation and oxygen uptake during exercise, meaning the body became more efficient at using fuel and recovering afterward. But why does this matter for sarcopenia? Because aging muscle becomes hypoxic. This oxygen shortage slows down mitochondrial energy production and increases the likelihood of oxidative damage to muscle cells. Without sufficient oxygen, the muscle enters a stressed state, and the rebuilding process slows to a crawl. Pomegranate compounds counteract that effect by enhancing microcirculation, especially in the legs and larger muscle groups where sarcopenia hits hardest. Here's how to use it. Option 1, pomegranate juice. Drink half to 1 cup of 100% unsweetened pomegranate juice about 30 to 60 minutes before physical activity. This is when nitric oxide production peaks and can maximize oxygen delivery during walking, resistance bands, or strength workouts. Option 2, pomegranate extract. Look for standardized extracts with 500 to 1,000 mgs of punicalagins, the active polyphenol. These are especially helpful if you're managing blood sugar or prefer to avoid the natural sugars in juice. Option 3, whole seeds, arils. Toss them into a salad or eat as a topping on plain Greek yogurt. 1/2 cup serving provides not only nitric oxide boosters, but also fiber, vitamin C, and potassium, all of which support muscle recovery. Another benefit, urolithin A, a compound produced from pomegranate polyphenols by gut bacteria, has been shown in research from the European Urology Journal to stimulate mitophagy, the process by which damaged mitochondria are removed and replaced with healthier ones. This essentially refreshes the energy factories inside your muscle cells, allowing them to contract more efficiently and recover more quickly. Here's a simple habit. Pair your pre-workout pomegranate with a brisk walk or strength session, and then follow it with a protein-rich meal. That combination, blood flow plus stimulus plus amino acids, is the recipe for muscle regeneration after 60. And if you've made it this far and you're starting to feel empowered by what food can do for your performance, consider subscribing. This channel exists to give you not just information, but transformation. So subscribe to the channel, one science-backed tool at a time. Bananas are often seen as a basic fruit, something you grab for a quick snack or toss into a smoothie. But beneath that simple yellow peel lies a powerful combination of muscle protective nutrients that become especially important after 60. One of the most critical, leucine, a branch chain amino acid that plays a unique and irreplaceable role in preserving and building muscle mass. Here's why leucine matters. When you consume protein, your body breaks it down into amino acids. But only one of those amino acids, leucine, is capable of directly triggering muscle protein synthesis. It acts like a switch. Without enough leucine, your muscle building machinery stays idle, no matter how much total protein you consume. And yes, while bananas aren't a protein food in the traditional sense, they contain small but meaningful amounts of leucine, especially when paired with other amino acid-rich meals like yogurt, nuts, or whey protein. Even more importantly, they serve a metabolic purpose that many people overlook. They help fuel your motivation to move. That's because bananas support the production of dopamine, the neurotransmitter most associated with drive, pleasure, and goal-directed behavior. Dopamine isn't just about mood, it's deeply tied to movement. In fact, one of the earliest signs of dopamine deficiency is a slowing of physical activity, reduced motivation to exercise, and even frailty. Bananas are rich in tyrosine, a precursor to dopamine. And they also contain vitamin B6, which is essential for converting tyrosine into usable neurotransmitters. In other words, eating a banana doesn't just give you fuel, it gives your brain the chemical spark to keep going. This matters enormously after 60, when both muscle catabolism and behavioral apathy can creep in. The science is clear. Without consistent movement, even low-intensity walking or light strength training, the rate of muscle loss accelerates. That's where bananas can be a behavioral tool. They offer quick digesting carbohydrates that replenish muscle glycogen and prevent fatigue during activity, and they provide just enough leucine and dopamine support to keep both body and brain engaged. Here's how to apply it. Option 1. Pre-walk or pre-workout fuel. Eat half a banana 30 minutes before a walk, band workout, or gardening session. It's gentle on the stomach, prevents mid-activity fatigue, and may improve endurance. Option 2. Recovery snack. Pair a banana with 1 tablespoon of almond butter or a scoop of whey protein within 30 minutes after activity. This supplies fast carbs, leucine, and other key amino acids your muscles need to recover. Option 3, morning motivation boost. If you find it hard to get moving in the morning, especially during colder months or low energy days, try a small banana with green tea. The natural sugars, caffeine, and dopamine precursors work synergistically to increase drive and reduce procrastination. One interesting study published in the Journal of Physiology found that dopamine signaling is closely linked with voluntary movement in older adults, and that supporting it through diet and activity could help prevent physical decline. Bananas provide that support in a simple, low-cost, and widely available form. Also worth noting, bananas contain resistant starch, particularly when they're slightly green. This feeds the good bacteria in your gut, which plays an indirect role in inflammation, recovery, and nutrient absorption, all essential for muscle maintenance. So next time you peel a banana, think beyond the snack. Think of it as a pre-caged message to your muscles and brain. We're moving, we're growing, we're not slowing down. Most people think muscle is built in the gym, but the truth is, muscle is rebuilt in your sleep. What happens while you rest determines whether your body repairs tissue, produces anabolic hormones, and replenishes energy for the next day. And after 60, when both sleep and muscle regeneration start to decline, even a small improvement in sleep quality can have a dramatic impact on your physical strength. That's where kiwi, yes, the small fuzzy green fruit, plays a surprisingly big role. Kiwi is rich in serotonin precursors, vitamin C, folate, and antioxidants, all of which support the brain's natural sleep-wake cycle and nighttime recovery systems. But what makes kiwi especially powerful is its effect on sleep onset and quality, which directly influences growth hormone release, tissue repair, and inflammation control. In a landmark study published in the Asia-Pacific Journal of Clinical Nutrition, researchers found that adults who consumed 2 kiwi fruits 1 hour before bed fell asleep 42% faster, stayed asleep longer, and experienced better sleep efficiency, meaning they got more restorative deep sleep relative to time in bed. Why does this matter for muscle? Because growth hormone, the body's master repair hormone, is primarily released during the first stages of deep sleep. As we age, both sleep quality and growth hormone output naturally decline, a double hit that slows recovery and accelerates muscle loss. Kiwi helps optimize this hormonal window by improving the quality and depth of your early night sleep cycles. There's also a neurological benefit. Kiwi contains serotonin precursors like tryptophan and folate, which help regulate mood and promote calmness before sleep. This is critical because chronic stress and anxiety, common in later life, can blunt the muscle repairing effects of sleep by keeping cortisol levels elevated. So, how do you use kiwi as a tool for muscle restoration? Here's a simple protocol. Eat 2 kiwis, ideally the green-fleshed variety, not gold, 1 hour before bedtime, consistently for at least 4 weeks. Pair this with a screen-free wind-down routine, maybe reading, stretching, or light breath work, and you've created a sleep and repair ritual that supports overnight muscle growth. Timing tip. If you've done a physical activity during the day, even something as light as a walk or gentle strength session, this protocol becomes even more powerful. Your body will be primed for recovery, and your brain will be more responsive to the natural compounds in kiwi that induce sleepiness. Worried about sugar before bed? Don't be. Kiwi has a low glycemic load, meaning it won't spike your blood sugar. In fact, its fiber and antioxidant content may help lower overnight cortisol, which is exactly what you want when the goal is deep, anabolic sleep. There's also emerging evidence that kiwi's antioxidants, especially vitamin C and E, help reduce nighttime oxidative stress, which otherwise impairs mitochondrial repair and muscle cell recovery during sleep. In short, it's a recovery amplifier. And beyond the physical benefits, there's something deeply valuable about ending your day with intention. Eating kiwi before bed can become a quiet signal to the body. Now we rest. Now we repair. It creates a rhythm, and that rhythm supports every cell in your body trying to rebuild stronger. So while kiwi might seem like a small fruit, its impact on your hormonal balance, muscle recovery, and mental clarity the next day is anything but small. Let's take a step back for a moment. This wasn't just a list of fruits. It was a roadmap, a science-backed blueprint to rebuild strength, reclaim vitality, and rewire the way you think about aging. Because here's the truth. Sarcopenia is not inevitable. Muscle loss is not your destiny. With the right tools, the right nutrients, and a bit of consistency, your body can still grow, adapt, and thrive, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. So let's recap the 6 key fruits and the science behind them. Blueberries kickstart mitochondrial biogenesis, fueling your muscle cells with renewed energy and helping reverse the cellular fatigue that often accompanies aging. Tart cherries lower chronic inflammation, accelerating post-activity recovery and supporting both muscle regeneration and restful sleep. Avocados provide the healthy fats, minerals, and hormone support your body needs to build muscle and stay metabolically strong. Pomegranates enhance blood flow and oxygen delivery, ensuring that every step, every contraction, and every recovery process is fully supported from the inside out. Bananas protect against muscle breakdown by supplying leucine and also elevate dopamine, helping you stay motivated, active, and engaged day after day. Kiwis promote deep, restorative sleep, the very window when growth hormone is released, inflammation is reduced, and muscle fibers are repaired and strengthened. Each of these fruits is powerful on its own, but together, when used intentionally, consistently, and alongside movement, they form a synergistic system for reversing sarcopenia and revitalizing your strength. And this isn't just about muscles. It's about independence, about being able to get up from a chair without hesitation, about walking without fear of falling, about carrying your grandchild, climbing stairs, tending your garden, or dancing at a family wedding without fatigue, hesitation, or pain. It's about living with dignity, clarity, and control in every chapter of life. Because your muscles don't just move you. They are deeply connected to your brain health, emotional stability, metabolic function, and even longevity. As research from the Journal of the American Medical Association shows, muscle strength is a better predictor of mortality than blood pressure or cholesterol. And the best part? It's never too late to start. So here's your challenge. Pick one fruit from today's list, just one, and begin weaving it into your daily routine. Not as a trend, but as a signal to your body. I'm still in this. I still choose strength. I still choose vitality. If it's blueberries, add them to your morning smoothie. If it's tart cherry juice, take a tablespoon before your walk. If it's kiwi, make it your nightly wind down. Let it be simple, but let it be consistent. And if this video helped you, if you feel more equipped, more hopeful, or more empowered, I invite you to like, comment, and subscribe. This channel is your space to grow, not just in knowledge, but in capability. We're building a community that believes aging is not a slow decline, it's a skill. And every week, we'll share science-backed tools to help you master it. So thank you for being here. Take what you've learned, put it into practice, and keep going. Your strongest years aren't behind you. They start today.